Hi, boys and girls. This is our third read of The Kite from Days with Frog and Toad. That's a chapter book. This is a little story inside of that chapter book. This is Arnold Lobel, and he's the author and the illustrator. And this is a make-believe story, a fantasy. This is in our California Journeys Grade 1, Unit 6 textbook. Okay, we're actually just going to talk a little bit about how weather can change our day. We're going to read it, and then we'll do our questions with our 1, 2, and 3 fingers. So yesterday we talked a little bit about how can weather change your day? How can weather change your day? So I gave some examples, but here's this girl's example of how weather changed her day. She had a wild weather day. There's all different kinds of weather. Okay, so right here in the morning, it was chilly. Look at that. Have you ever seen the air condense right in front of where you're breathing in the morning? That means it's super cold outside. Over here, she was playing soccer. It warmed up and it was getting warm. Now she wishes she could take off her long sleeve shirt. That's how warm it is. And then it began to rain and there was a downpour. And they started slipping and when they were playing their game and they lost. She's all soaked and her clothes are all dripping. Okay, then it started there started to be a thunderstorm. You see this lightning right here lighting up the sky, and there's thunder, boom! And the rain is really heavy. Okay, so now, guess what? That brought some hail. Hail looks like this. It's a little bit like snow, but it comes down in pellets. And if they hit you or your car, or if you live in like in a mobile home, if it hits the mobile home, it'll put dents in it. They're little balls of ice. So yeah, you don't want to be out in that. It's a good thing she's inside already and not out in her soccer game when it started hailing. And then look, there's a rainbow. So that's just one day. She had had a really wild weather day, and weather can affect our lives too. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read this with you. This is our last chance to read this before we take our test on Friday. Are you ready? I will track with my fingers, you track with your eyes. The Kite. Frog and Toad went out to fly a kite. They went to a large meadow where the wind was strong. "Our kite will fly up and up," said Frog. "It will fly all the way up to the top of the sky." "Toad," said Frog, "I will hold the ball of string. You hold the kite and run." Toad ran across the meadow. He ran as fast as his short legs could carry him. The kite went up in the air. It fell to the ground with a bump. Toad heard laughter. 3 robins were sitting in a bush. "That kite will not fly," said the robins. "You may as well give up." Toad ran back to Frog. "Frog," said Toad, "this kite will not fly. I give up." "We must make a second try," said Frog. "Wave the kite over your head. Perhaps that will make it fly." Toad ran back across the meadow. He waved the kite over his head. The kite went up in the air and then fell down with a thud. "What a joke," said the robins. "That kite will never get off the ground." Toad ran back to Frog. "This kite is a joke," he said. "It will never get off the ground." "We have to make a third try," said Frog. "Wave the kite over your head and jump up and down. Perhaps that will make it fly." Toad ran across the meadow again. He waved the kite over his head. He jumped up and down. The kite went up in the air and crashed down into the grass. "That kite is junk," said the robins. "Throw it away and go home." Toad ran back to Frog. "This kite is junk," he said. "I think we should throw it away and go home." "Toad," said Frog, "we need one more try. Wave the kite over your head, jump up and down, and shout, 'Up, kite, up!'" Toad ran across the meadow. He waved the kite over his head. He jumped up and down. He shouted, "Up, kite, up!" The kite flew into the air. It climbed higher and higher. "We did it!" cried Toad. "Yes," said Frog. "If a running try did not work, a running and waving try did not work, and a running, waving, and jumping try did not work. I knew that a running, waving, jumping, and shouting try just had to work." The robins flew out of the bush, but they could not fly as high as the kite. Frog and Toad sat and watched their kite. It seemed to be flying way up at the top of the sky. There's the robins, there's the kite, and here's the sky, even though he didn't color it light blue or yellow. Okay, boys and girls, it's time for our test. Okay, get your fingers out, 1, 2, or 3. So who's the author and the illustrator of this book? Is it Eric Carle, Arnold Lobel, or Robert Munsch? The author and illustrator of this book is Arnold Lobel. It was number 2, actually. It was Arnold Lobel. What is the genre of this story? Is it informational text? Is it realistic fiction? Or is it fantasy? The genre is fantasy. That means it's baloney. It could never happen. Okay, so what is this story mostly about? Is it mostly about a frog and a toad who try to fly a kite? Is it mostly about meadow animals? Or is it mostly about how to make a kite? What am I doing sticking my finger out the whole time? I gave you the answer the whole time. Yes, this story is mostly about a frog and toad who try to fly a kite. Okay, you're being a cheater finger and giving them the answer. Okay, number 4. Where did Frog and Toad go to fly their kite? Did they go to the playground? Did they go to the hilltop or did they go to the meadow? They went to the meadow. Meadow's a field. So who are the main characters in this story? So was it the robins? Was it Frog and Toad? Or was it the butterflies? The main characters are Frog and Toad. All right, you had 2 fingers up, right? This story happens in the daytime, at night, or at sunset. This story happens in the daytime. I forgot to talk to you about the setting. Where the setting is the time and the place. So the time is in the daytime. The place is in a meadow. You guys got those right. So number 7, which animals in the story were mean? Were Frog and Toad mean? Were the grasshoppers mean? Or were the robins mean? Yes, the robins were mean. You remember that. What problem do Frog and Toad have? The kite won't fly. Is that their problem? The annoying robins. Is that their problem? There is no wind. Was that their problem? What was their problem? Yeah, the robins were annoying, but that wasn't a problem. It was that the kite wouldn't fly. If the kite was flying, then the robins wouldn't have been so annoying. So the answer was 1. Okay, how about number 9? Number 9 is, what did Toad do first? Did he hold the kite, run, and jump? Did he hold the kite and run? That was number 2. Did he hold the kite and run? Or did he tell the robins to be nice? What was the first thing he did? Well, he held the kite and ran with it. Okay. So number 10. What did Toad do to finally get the kite up? Did he have the robins carry it up in the sky? Did he have Frog fly it? Or did he run, wave, jump, and shout? He ran, waved, jumped, and shouted. Yeah, 3 fingers up. Thank you. How many tries did it take to get the kite to stay up in the sky? Was it 4 tries? That's answer 1. Was it 3 tries? That's answer 2. Or was it 2 tries? That's answer 3. It was his 4th try. He had to keep on trying. So what did Frog and Toad do at the end of the story? Did they eat a picnic lunch? Did they watch their kite fly? Let's have a look. Or did they invite the robins to join them? They watched their kite fly. 2 fingers up. Okay, boys and girls, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed that story. Thank you for participating and for being here and for practicing your reading. You guys keep on trying. Don't give up on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th time. You just keep on going with your reading. Bye-bye.